Hey, so in today's video, I'd like to talk to you about my favorite mindset. It's a stupid one, it's a silly one in its own way. It's just being positive. But really positive, because that's the difference between being positive and really, really positive. We want to achieve being so positive that it's almost stupid. Allow me to explain. So, what do I mean? What do I mean? How can we be stupidly positive? Well, I want you to think about something giant, like really negative, something really, really bad. You know that this is hard to be positive about. I want you to still be positive. I want you to find the positivity in that. I want you to believe that everything is going to be fine. The lesson of today is to just learn how to believe. Believe that everything will turn out properly and everything will be just fine. This is such a valuable lesson because what is there to gain on being negative? Sure, you can look at a situation that's really going to shit and you can think there's not much to say here. This is not going well. How can we be positive about this? How can we believe everything's going to be all right? And for the most part, you're right. There's a good chance not much would be all right. But why think about that? Why? When I was experiencing when my family member in the Death Part 2 video, and Part 1 for that matter, when they were going through their stuff, it was pretty clear that they wanted and were going to die at some point. But I didn't want to think about that. This is one of the best examples because we all kind of knew they were going to die. But why did we? I never thought about that, and I never let anyone think about that. I always said he will be fine. Of course, in the end, he still did die. But what was the point in focusing on that? It just made everyone sad. It just made everyone cry. But when I say to everyone that he's going to be fine, and we think about how he's going to be just okay and how he'll be back up in just like a week or something, nobody cries. Nobody's crying. We're all thinking positively. Of course, in the end, he still did die, so I was wrong. Not everything does turn out to be that way. But that's when I say, be stupid with it. Be stupidly positive. Because even if it doesn't turn out to go the way that you wanted it to go, what do you gain from being negative? Nothing at all, because like I said, they just cry. And then they just get upset, and they just remember things, and it's just nobody gained anything. So just don't focus on that. Don't focus on that at all. Furthermore, in other scenarios where things are going to shit and you just believe that everything's going to be fine, it actually does work sometimes in other scenarios that aren't less like things that would be in your control more, because I can't really control death. But if it's more in my control, like let's say my assignment is really I'm cutting it close, it's going to be late if I take too long. If I believe everything's going to be just fine, there's a good chance that with a positive attitude, I'll be able to think more clear, I'll be able to get after it, and maybe I'll finish it on time and even do better. That's a chance. Whereas if I think negatively, all I'm going to do is I'm going to dread it and I'm going to stress it and I'm just going to think about it the whole time and nothing's going to come of it. If anything, I'm going to guarantee that this assignment will be late, because all I'm doing is stressing about how it might be late. Well, now it is, because I stressed and I didn't think about the assignment. I was thinking about what could be, not what is. So, consider that for things that are in your control. What do you have to gain by thinking about the negative aspects of it? You have nothing to gain. So, quit thinking about it. Just focus solely on what the good stuff is. Think about, I'm going to make the best essay possible. I'm going to get this whole thing done. And I'm going to get it in on time. Boom. Focus on that. And I promise you, you'll at least I mean, there's a good chance that in some scenarios stuff will still go to shit, but it's a better chance that it won't if you're positive than if you're negative. So I'm promising you that you will at least experience a better time. I won't promise you that you succeed, because we can't always succeed in everything. I won't lie. I have never 100% succeeded. Nobody has. No, that just doesn't happen. So I won't lie to you on that. But it's been less stressful for me. So I'll take that any day of the week. That's for sure. Either way, that's what we should be doing. That's why we should be doing it. But how do we really do that? How do we really focus on it? Because we gotta cut off the negative energy, and we need to know how do we replace it with positive energy? How do we get the positivity in here? And for this, I just want you to think. Just do a little quick analysis. Think about all the bad things that could happen. Do it quick. I want it like lightning. I want you to do it quick on purpose, because I want you to think about the first things that come into your mind. Those are the important things. Don't think about it too much. Like, put on a timer for like a minute and think about all the things. And then as soon as that's over, stop it. And then think about the positive things. Put on a timer for a minute. Think about them. And then stop it when the timer's up. And then look at the two comparisons. If you thought negatively, all these things would have come. You would have had stress. You couldn't focus. It'd be late. It'd not be good. People would be sad. Whatever it might be, it wouldn't have worked out in any regard. So that's bad. But then if you focused on the positive, look at what you'd have. You would have a better essay. You could focus. No one would be crying if we were talking about relatives. And what else? You might get it in on time. You might. Which is better than you won't get it in on time. That's a guarantee. That's a maybe. I'd take a maybe over a guarantee any day of the week, right? So look what we did in a minute's time. Put it on for a minute, no longer. And just think about those like it's lightning. And then compare the two and tell me which one's better. I'm pretty sure the positive one's better. So think positively. I know it's hard to do still. And we need to talk about that, how to get rid of the negative stuff. But before we do that, just think about that little comparison we did and try your absolute hardest to focus in on the positivity. That's the only way you should want to go. But how do we get rid of the negative stuff? Because it comes as basic human nature. Because if you think about it, we naturally will start thinking about the problems and what could go wrong, and we will go down that train. But we have the ability to cut off human nature, to a degree, so let's utilize it. You got to cut that train right where it is. Cut it off. And the best way to do that, that I find, is to just close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, maybe even take 10, and just focus on the positive. Just sit there for a minute, take the deep breaths, and focus on the positive, and come up with a world in your mind. Just think about it. Just come up with a world in your mind where you think about the positive one. And do this quick, because we don't want it to take up your time any more than 5 minutes. So think about that positive thing. Just manifest it. And then do it a little intricately. Think about, I'm going to do this detail, and this detail, and this detail, these little things. And then open your eyes after a little bit, after you planned out this perfect thing. Get after it. Don't take too long. I mean, I don't want you to be there until the test timer is over, but visualize it quickly and do a little bit of intricate planning. Get after it and make it, because you want to make it a goal. You want to make it a goal. You don't want to make it a mindset. You want to make it a goal. The mindset comes later, because once you make it a goal and a habit, you'll eventually just start defaulting into this mindset, because then it becomes the mindset, the positive mindset. That's what it becomes. But first, you have to make it a goal to be positive. Then you have to make it a habit, and then you can finally have a mindset of positivity. So, for now, close your eyes, manifest that world, and plan it all a little intricately. Not too much, but just a little bit. Think about how you're going to do this. Don't think about the goal itself. Think about how you'll get to the goal itself. And then that plan that you created, that world you created, that is your goal. That is how you'll get there. Achieve it, and I promise you it'll work. And that's my challenge for you today. I think my family got home, so I got to get to it. But hope this helps you a ton. And that's everything. Try this out with something. It'll do so much for you, I promise. That's everything. Take care, my friend.